Hello students, welcome to this heat transfer module 5, that is heat exchangers. Student, you know that heat exchangers are example are evaporators, condenser, boilers. These are all heat exchangers. So let us discuss how we are going to analyze and how they are going to design the heat exchangers in this chapter. So first of all, what is meant by heat exchangers? So you can see in the picture there are different applications are used um, for the heat exchangers. The process of heat exchangers between the two fluids that are at different temperatures and separated by a solid wall we call it as heat exchangers. Even they are used in automobile cars, automobile radiators, and chemical process industry, and other many applications are there. Okay, so and we'll come to the classification of the heat exchangers. There are different types of heat exchangers are available based on the flow arrangement, based on the process, based on the fluids. Okay, now in this module we are going to concentrate only the type of flow arrangement. In that category there are three different types of heat exchangers are there. One is parallel flow heat exchanger, counter flow heat exchanger, and cross flow heat exchangers. So what is meant by parallel flow heat exchanger? So parallel flow heat exchanger, what happen? At the center, the hot fluid is moving, and adjacent of that exchanger, that is pipe, the cold fluid also moving in the same direction. So this is how we call it as parallel flow heat exchanger. But in case of counter flow heat exchanger, at the center the hot fluid is moving. At the adjacent of this um, pipe or heat exchanger, the cold fluid is moving in opposite direction. That's why we call it as counter flow heat exchangers. So these are different applications we are using. And cross flow heat exchangers, the figure A shows that with both fluids are unmixed. Okay, uh, fluids are not mixed, these are separately, that is unmixed kind of flow. Here in the figure B, with one fluid is mixed and other fluid is unmixed. These are all different types of heat exchangers. Now we analyze how the heat exchanger is going to be performed. So we must know that the Q of the any rate heat transfer general equation, that is mCp delta T. But if you consider for the hot fluid, it becomes mHCpH into Thi minus Tho, where Thi and Tho are uh, temperature of the hot fluid inlet and temperature of the hot fluid outlet. Similarly, Q is equal to mCpC into Tco minus Tci, where Tco and Tci are temperature of the cold fluid outlet and temperature of the cold fluid inlet. So finally we can write the overall heat transfer coefficient, overall heat transfer, right, that is UA delta Tm, where delta T is temperature of the hot fluid and the temperature of the cold fluid. So now we'll discuss what is parallel flow heat exchanger, how we are going to analyze. So you can see in the figure at the right side the difference of this temperature are delta T1, and right side there is delta 2. So by taking this temperature, we have to consider the difference of this, we call it as LMTD, that is the logarithmic mean temperature difference, that we are going to find out. Okay. Next one is counter flow heat exchanger. So for counter flow heat exchanger, again we can observe the how the plot the temperature are exchanging the heat from hot to cold and cold to hot. So by taking this we can write the change in temperature between the hot and cold fluid are Th1 minus Tc1 is equal to Thi is minus Tco, and delta T2 is Ts2 minus Tc2 is equal to Ts2O minus Tc2O. So these are all temperature difference at the hot and cold fluids. So here some of the operating conditions when as the thermal capacity, that is CH, is far greater than CC, the capacity of the cold fluid, we have to use this one, that is condensing vapor. Or if it is evaporating liquid, we have to consider CH is less than, far less than Cc, then Cc is tends to infinity, and this is the nature of the heat exchanger flow. And when it is both are in equilibrium, same temperature, so delta T1 is equal to delta T2. Okay, now let us discuss what is meant by effectiveness and NTU method. So effectiveness means the maximum possible heat transfer rate, that is the Q max, could in principle be achieved in a counterflow heat exchanger of the infinite length. Suppose the maximum possible temperature difference, that is Thi minus Tci, so then the equation becomes Q max is equal to Cc into Thi minus Tci, and for Ch is less than Cc, then Q max is equal to Ch into Thi minus Tci. So for maximum heat transfer, that is C minimum into Thi minus Tci. So to calculate the effectiveness, we have to take the possible heat transfer and divided by maximum heat transfer. If you take this ratio, you will get the effectiveness of the heat exchanger. So again, it depends upon the type of flow, whether it is a parallel flow and counterflow. So finally, epsilon is equals to Ch into Thi minus Tco divided by C minimum Thi minus Tci, or you can write Cc into Tco minus Tci divided by C minimum into Thi minus Tci. So this equation we are going to use for the counterflow heat exchanger, okay, for the effectiveness. Now we can write effectiveness and NTU method for relation, that is Q is equal to epsilon to C minimum in Thi minus Tci. Then we can write epsilon is a function of NTU. How it becomes a function of NTU? So there is a number of transfer units is a dimensionless parameter. We can write it as UA divided by C minimum. So it is defined as the ratio of the system ability to transfer the heat to the fluid minimum ability to absorb the heat. So the significance of this NTU is that the size of the heat exchanger for a given overall heat transfer coefficient and C minimum. Now the relation between effectiveness and NTU relations are like this. If you consider for the parallel flow, so C minimum is equal to CH. CH is specific heat of the hot fluid, and epsilon, that is effectiveness, is equal to Thi minus Tco divided by Thi minus Tci. If you calculate the ratio of the specific heat C minimum divided by C max, then it becomes epsilon is equal to 1 minus e to the power of minus NTU into 1 plus Cr divided by 1 plus Cr. So these equations not necessary to remember, so it is available in the heat transfer data handbook. You have to search, and wherever it is required for the, depending upon the problem, you can choose the formula and get the solutions. Here some of the formula relations which I have put it over here, just to observe what is the parallel flow, counter flow. So all formulas are there in heat transfer data handbook. Okay, just to refer for the, this formulas. Okay, these are parallel flow and counter flow, shell and tube exchangers. Okay, for different conditions also we have to observe what is the NTU and effectiveness of the heat exchangers. And also from the effectiveness for parallel flow heat exchanger, how it would be find out for the NTU with the value of effectiveness. If you know the C minimum and C max, so you can find out epsilon or NTU or vice versa. So both counterflow and parallel flow which are given, so we can find out the values of efficiency, NTU as well as effectiveness. So this is again different kind of tubes and having formulas. And coming to the performance calculation, suppose if you want to calculate the performance of the heat exchanger or to analyze the following things. First one is find out the heat transfer rate, that is Q, and second one is you have to find out the fluid temperature outlet, that is prescribed by the flow rate at the inlet. Okay, we have to find out TCO or THO based on the inlet conditions. And if it is associated with a different kind of exchanger, that is of the shelf heat exchanger type, the size available from the vendor, that we should must know it, then only we can find out the other parameters. Okay, well, come to the problem solving techniques. So what we have to do, well, suppose if you want to design any heat exchanger, the following things are to be followed. First one, calculate the effectiveness and CR. CR is nothing but C minimum by C max, and obtain NTU for appropriate equation or chart from the heat transfer data handbook, and determine the surface area for the heat exchanger. Okay, suppose if you want to calculate performance calculations, you need to calculate NTU as well as CR, and second one is to obtain epsilon from the appropriate equation or chart, and next one is you have to find out the what is the maximum heat transfer, that can be calculated by using C minimum into THI minus TCI, or else if you know the effectiveness, we can calculate by effectiveness into maximum heat transfer. Okay students, I hope you understand this concept for the heat exchangers. Thanks for watching.